Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Craft Eccentricity. I hope you all had a fabulous weekend, and the sun is shining here this morning, and that makes me very happy. So, anyway, there was a lot of interest in those 3 Christmas gnomes from the haul last week, so that is what I made over the weekend, and I basically did them like a set of cards, made it really simple. So I used some Dollar Tree foamy squares. Let's hope the camera's going to be good. I used Dollar Tree foam and I used Dollar Tree adhesive tape. It's really great that you can just pop down to Dollar Tree now and get all this kind of stuff. And I also used Dollar Tree chalk glue in my Aliexpress squirty bottle. I'm going to go magnified and then zoom out. There we go. Oh, that's quite a nice picture for a Monday. I used a pair of little scissors. I used a black. This one is a 05 pen just to highlight the lantern on one of the gnomes. I used my lovely white gel pen. I like to get close up on this one because it's really difficult to see those little pictures, but I will link those below. My favourite white gel pen, and of course a wax tip pickup tool, and we use one of those because it just makes paper piecing super easy. Right, I've used the MXR lacy sort of like snowflake cut apart tree, and I've used the gnome with the lantern. These are all now bags of bits. I've used the gnome with his little gingerbread heart, and I've used the gnome with the gift. So first up is the gnome with the gift, and isn't he cute? You can see where I used the white gel pen there. I used it to dot the dotties on the hat and the gloves. I've used it to highlight the nose and to highlight the eyes. This cut apart here is from the North Pole pack from Hobby Lobby, and I just thought it would make a nice little frame just to pop that onto. So I did make them really super simple today. And then the background cardstock is just white cardstock that's trimmed down to fit this, and this cut apart measures 4 by 6. So they're really large in that 12 by 12 pack, and very useful. Right, so that little gnome stands just over 4 1/4 inches, and the width of him there is at his widest point just over 2 1/4 inches. So that is the first one. The gift holding gnome second, and I kept it simple and I didn't use that lacy tree, and it's the gnome with the lantern, and I popped him there all on his own. Now this cardstock isn't dirty, it's kind of a little bit splash distressed to make it look like that, but there's his little white gel pen highlight on his nose and his eyes, and that's that black fine liner that I did. You get this sort of like embossed section that goes into that lantern, and then you just pop your fine pen in there and just drag all the way down really quickly is the easiest way to do it. And you can see a 05. I don't know if you can see that against my finger. It's a really fine but solid tip. So you can just like get into the grooves of stuff and let it sit inside the groove and just follow it around, and you tend to get a relatively neat and straight line. Right, so measuring Mr. Lantern Man, and he is 4 1/4 inches again, and this time 2 1/2 inches. But these are just so sweet because they don't have to just be for Christmas. If you've got little mushroom houses and fairies and things like that, they can just totally go into a garden scene and look absolutely brilliant. And I do like making crazy little picks that I put on barbecue skewers from Dollar Tree, and they just look really nice, sort of like stuck in your plant pot or in between the flowers, you know, in the vase of flowers. You've got crazy little things just poking out of there. And also nice to sort of like dot about in a little door wreath. But that's really, really sweet. And of course, they're a nice size, which means those little square frames from Dollar Tree, if you just make one up really simply, or even cut the whole thing in white or cream so that you're white on white or cream on cream. This cardstock here is actually cream if you look at the white there. And just pop it in a frame, and you've got a really, really simple but elegant looking gnome in a little square frame. Great for a child's bedroom. Right, next up is the gingerbread heart hugging gnome, and white gel pen on the hat, the gingerbread, and on the gloves, and dotted a little bit on the nose, and just used one tree in the background here. But I just think they're absolutely gorgeous, and of course my hand's in there. I like to do that so you can see just how big the pieces are. Everything's embossed so you know where everything goes. Just really easy to make. 4¼ inches high, and let's have a look there. We're just a fraction over 2¼ inches wide on that one. So that is what I have for you today. Now I'm going to be up tomorrow with the Tutorial Tuesday, and it's Alina Craft from last week. If you remember, I used the cards from the envelope card set, the slimline set, and I did a Halloween card last week. So this week I intend to use the envelope because envelopes are just so useful, and also to make a card in a different way. And over the weekend I got my shrink plastic out, and I made little shrink plastic flowers. There's a couple there. I'll do a little close up. So I'm hoping to be able to use these within the card. Um, there we go. Camera's all wobbly again. Within the card tomorrow. I have made quite a few of these in different colours as well. But I like shrink plastic, and it always looks so nice when you put UV resin on top of it. So tomorrow is a Lena Craft, and then I'm going to be back on Wednesday with the rest of the MX Art Christmas. So you have an absolutely fabulous day. Thank you for joining me. As usual, all links below. Bye.